Hey, hello, my name is Yaisa Dadajanov. My beliefs about classroom management and child behavior is that I strongly believe that a safe, caring, and respectful environment is the foundation of effective classroom management. My approach is rooted in understanding that students learn best when they feel loved and valued. I remember early in my teaching career seeing my consistent, gentle responses to behavior helped even the most energetic children feel secure and eager to participate. I live by the quote, "Children do well if they can," by Dr. Ross Green, which highlights that behavior reflects unmet needs rather than misbehavior alone. Research shows that positive relationships and proactive classroom strategies such as setting clear expectations, modeling respectful behavior, and teaching social emotional skills significantly reduces disruptive behaviors and promote development. My overarching philosophy is to foster an environment where students understand boundaries through calm guidance and where grace and patience empower them to make better choices. I believe that when children feel respected and supported, they develop self-control, independence, and love for learning that will serve them for a lifetime. So overall, I see classroom management as nourishing a community of trust and kindness, where every child has the opportunity to grow socially, emotionally, and academically. Lastly, I love the quote, "It takes a village." I believe that education is a collaborative effort involving teachers, families, and the community. All right, my classroom rules are be kind. This rule means treating others how we would like to be treated. We use kind words, share our toys, and help each other when needed. Being kind also means we respect each other's feelings. Number 2, be responsible. This rule is about taking care of our own belongings in the classroom, such as materials, also cleaning up after activities and managing our own actions and bodies. It means doing our jobs, such as putting away items after use, following directions, and participating fully in activities. Third, be honest. This rule encourages us to always tell the truth. It's important to admit when we've made mistakes or when we need help. Being honest helps to build trust in our classroom community. Be safe. It means we take care of our own and others' safety. We walk instead of run, use tools and toys correctly, and follow directions during our activities. Being safe helps keep us and our families happy and healthy. Okay, here are a couple of my classroom procedures for my kindergarten classroom. So for entering the classroom or exiting the classroom during transitions throughout the day, upon entering, they would line up quietly outside the door. When called by the teacher, walk in calmly one by one and sit in their assigned spots on the carpet, if stated on the carpet, or in their chairs. When it's time to leave for breaks or at the end of the day, pack up quietly and line up in line order, waiting patiently and listening for instructions to leave the room safely. So before they are able to do this on their own, as the teacher, I would model the gentle walking in the room with your hands behind your back or by your side to yourself, and quietly as they go to their spots. For exit, when it's time to go, pack up their belongings quietly and stand in line patiently, waiting for their turn to exit. And I would model that so they can see how it looks. Now, for instance, for arrival in the mornings, the teacher would assist morning procedures. So I would be standing by the door. The kids are to hang up bags on hooks outside the classroom in the hallway, unpacking, such as taking out their daily folders, water bottles, and lunchbox if they have one. Walk into the classroom one by one, place all items in their correct place, folder and folder bin, their water bottles in a cart, and their lunchbox in their cubbies. And then they would greet the teacher find a seat and begin their morning work at a level 0, which means no talking. Now for pack up at the end of the day, again, the teacher will assist and watch and guide the students in the hallway, since our book bags are in the hallway on hooks. Students are to walk safely with a level 0 voice, that means no talking, into the hallway. Teacher will call by table, walking through the door one by one. Grab book bags from hooks, enter back into the classroom one by one, walk to their seats, and place all their belongings inside their bags. Zip up their bags and hang their bags on their chairs. And then they would sit in chairs and wait quietly using the level 0 voice. Now, in the process of this entire pack-up procedures, I will place an educational video that reflects on a topic we've learned from the day at that time. So but probably be like a 20 minutes. That way I can get the entire class settled. Now, the rationale is a consistent routine for entering and exiting helps children feel safe and understood and understand expectations, reducing distractions and disruptions. Now, a grace-filled practice, the procedure promotes respect and patience, modeling calmness and self-control, which fosters a caring classroom community where all children feel secure. Okay, another one would be emergency drills and safety protocols. So step by step, follow the teacher's instruction quickly and quietly during drills. Walk calmly to their designated safety zone. So before that, students are required to find their number dots on the floor in the classroom, line up, and then walk quietly in a line out the door. Now they are required to stay in line and listen for further direction. Before we have a drill, I would read a story. Let's say it's a fire drill. I would have a social skills story that shows images on what to do. So if you're doing work, you stop what you're doing. You line up quickly. Then you start walking out the door with the teacher in the front of the line, using level 0, hands to self, no talking until it's time to come back inside. That way we can listen and be aware of what's happening, and we exit safely. Also, when I'm modeling, we would do this in the classroom, such as practicing walking calmly with hands by their side, voices off, and we would just kind of walk around the classroom. I will pretend like there's a siren sound for the fire alarm, and I would have them role play with me after I model. Now, the rationale is practicing safety procedures helps children stay calm, prepare in real emergencies, reducing anxiety. Now, it's also treating children with calm and during those drills. That way they can build trust and a sense of safety if we practice. A kindergarten consequence action plan. So my goal is to maintain a safe, respectful, and positive classroom environment where all students feel supported and valued. I will use a step-by-step approach to address behaviors, starting with the least methods, processing toward more structured responses as needed. Each step promotes understanding, self-regulation, and personal growth. So, number 1, nonverbal cues, actions. Gently make eye contact and display a visual card showing the expected behavior, the purpose, a low pressure, non-insertive reminder that encourages self-corrections without singling out the student. So the outcome would be that the student recognizes the expected behavior and adjusts independently. Okay, 2, proximity. Action. Stand near the student and lightly touch their shoulder as a non-verbal redirection. The purpose for this is to remind and refocus the student without interrupting instruction. Outcome, the student remains engaged and understands what is expected. Now, 3, verbal reminder. Action. Approach a student calmly and privately at their eye level to remind them of specific classroom rules. For example, I would say, remember, we need to keep our hands to ourselves. Now, the purpose for this is to reinforce expectations in a kind, respectful way, helping the students understand boundaries. Now, the outcome should be that the student can continuously adjust their behavior to meet expectations. 4. Redirection or choice. Action. Move the student to a different area of the room or closer to the teacher's, which is my table, or offer a choice, such as sitting quietly or working on a calming activity. So the purpose for this is to help the student take a moment to reflect and regain self-control. Outcome, the student has a positive opportunity to reset, resulting in renewed focus. Number 5, grace-based check-in. Action. Pause and gently ask what's going on or is something bothering you. Purpose is to show care, foster trust by providing support for emotional regulation. Outcome. If the student shares, they feel supported and are better able to reset with a break or activity such as taking a walk for 5 minutes in a calm center. If not, move to the next step smoothly. So logical consequence. Action. If behavior continues, implement a fair related consequence such as losing a few minutes of free time or a choice activity. Purpose, to help the student understand the link between actions and consequences in a respectful manner. Outcome, the student learns responsibilities and the importance of making good choices. Now, my follow-through action, offer a calming activity such as a quiet corner or peer buddy support to help the student self-regulate before rejoining the class. Now, the purpose is to support emotional regulation, social skills in a safe environment. Outcome, the student re-enters the classroom ready to participate positively. 8. Re-entering and reflection. Action, invite the student to discuss what happened and explore ways to handle similar situations better in the future. Also help the students make a plan where they create strategies that will help them reset. For example, deep breathing, sensory toys, or taking a walk. Purpose, to promote self-awareness, problem solving, and emotional growth. Outcome, the student develops skills to regulate emotions and make better choices independently. Family communication. Action, contact parents via phone or a note to inform them of the behavior and the strategies used. Purpose, to strengthen home and school communication and support consistent behavior expectations. Outcome, parents can reinforce the same strategies at home and work together to support the child's growth. Now, there's a referral, which is when we contact administration for support. If behavior persists or involves severe infractions, refers the student to the principal or support team. So, purpose is to ensure safety and create a plan for ongoing support, not as a first step, but as a last resort. Outcome, maintains a safe, orderly classroom environment and provides additional resources for students' success. Now, my commitment, a reflection is, it's important to offer grace before delivering consequence because it creates a supportive environment where students feel safe, valued, and respected. When teachers approach misbehavior with empathy and understanding, students are more willing to correct themselves and more likely to reflect on their actions without feeling shamed or punished. In my classroom consequence plan, steps like a calm verbal reminder, a private check-in, and offering students more time to share their feelings demonstrates this grace-filled approach. These strategies encourage self-awareness and emotional regulation, helping students learn to manage their behaviors. A balance between accountability and empathy is maintained through clear and fair consequences that are directly related to the behavior, such as losing a few minutes of free time for inappropriate action. These consequences are delivered respectfully and consistently, emphasizing that actions have consequences without shaming the student. Additionally, having steps like re-engagement activities and family communication fosters responsibility while promoting ongoing support and understanding. So my plan reflects my vision of a positive classroom culture because it is built on mutual respect, kindness, and growth. It also encourages my students to see mistakes as opportunities to learn, grow, and develop self-control, which is ultimately fostering a nurturing environment where all of my students feel safe to grow academically, socially, and emotionally. Therefore, this plan emphasizes understanding, patience, and support. I believe every student can learn from their mistakes and grow socially and emotionally. Together with family partnership, we can aim to guide students toward respectful, responsible behavior in a loving and nourishing environment. I have attached my reward system in my post, so you can look through images on there. I have examples of my treasure box in my sticker store, in my Dojo Point jars. Okay, classroom layout. My classroom layout design is intentionally structured to foster student-centered learning by offering a variety of flexible spaces that invite exploration, independence, and collaboration. The arrangement allows students to self-reflect or select activities based on their interests and needs, promoting ownership for their own learning. For example, designated spaces, designated areas for reading, art, quiet space helps students choose where they will work, encouraging engagement and autonomy to create a grace-filled environment that accommodates diverse learning needs. And I will incorporate visual supports, such as I'll have everything labeled in the classroom, easily access to materials, calm down areas, shelves are organized with clear labels, and I use visual cues to support children with language or attention challenges. The space includes cozy corners and movement zones, which support sensory processing and self-regulation, fostering emotional safety and respect for individual differences. Now, balancing collaborative zones with individual workspace was vital. I arranged tables in a small cluster for group work and discussion, while also creating quiet corners and individual focus spots all around the room for focused tasks where they would work independently, which our students self-selected that made them feel safe and comfortable, also where they thought would be the best place for learning. This layout ensures that students develop social skills through interactions, but also have space for self-regulation and independent work when needed. Additionally, I designed clear zones and pathways to reduce distractions and maintain an inviting yet functional environment, such as their focus spots, flowers that will be hanging from the ceilings. Where you would see on my little image there are dots around the room that represents a focus flower. So I created this classroom layout to, show nurturing to all my students and to support their growth and well-being.